After 20 years of buying, selling, and investing in real estate, there are 8 things that I would never say to a real estate agent. And I am one. Because once you say them, you can't take these things back. And most sellers, they don't realize the damage that happens until they get to the closing table. These are the 8 things that you should never reveal to your real estate agent, at least not early, not before trust is earned. Let's make sure that you don't hand someone an advantage they haven't earned yet. And here's a question that I just got, and I want you to pay attention to what's not in it. Hey, Weldon, we're thinking about selling our house this spring. We've lived here about 6 years. We talked to a neighbor's agent, and they seemed great. They said the market's strong, and we could probably get around $450,000 for our home. We're thinking about listing it around $475,000 to leave some room to work with. What do we need to know before we go any further? But did you catch it? They told me what they think the house is worth. They told me what the agent's opinion was. They told me their pricing strategy, but they never told me why they're selling. And that one piece of information, that changes how you negotiate everything on this list. Because if you're selling because of a job transfer, that's a different conversation than selling because you're downsizing or going through a divorce or just testing the market. Your life situation drives the strategy, not the other way around. So here's what we're going to do. 8 things that you should keep to yourself, at least until you've built real trust with the right real estate professional. And by the end of this video, you're going to know exactly how to protect yourself, interview smarter, and make sure that the person across the table is actually working for you. And starting with number 1, and this surprises people, don't tell your agent you're in no rush to sell. I get why you'd say that. You don't want to feel pressured. You don't want to come across as desperate. But here's what's actually happening when an agent hears that. You can quietly go to the bottom of the pile. They get 10 listings competing for their time and their marketing budget, and the seller that says no rush, well, they get the least attention. And if that message leaks to the buyer's side, and it does happen, that buyer is going to sit back and wait for a price drop instead of making a strong offer. Now, I had a client come to me once, and they'd listed with another agent for 4 months with almost no showings. Well, it turns out that they told the agent on day 1 that they weren't in any rush. They were just testing the waters. That agent literally deprioritized their listing and put all the marketing energy someplace else. 4 months, no traction, and the seller, they had no idea why. Here's the move. Be clear about your timeline without showing your cards. So we'd like to be strategic about timing. That is a completely different message than we're in no hurry. Now, life transitions, they fall apart without the right plan or the right set of professionals in your corner. If you have a big transition coming up, book a free call. Link, it's in the caption below. We will help you get clarity on your life goals, your finances, and then real estate if it's even involved. And then we're going to connect you with the right professionals if you need them. And if you want to start mapping it out on your own, well, there's a free decision tool right there in the same link. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more life, wealth, and real estate content that applies to all the transitions that we go through as human beings. All right, number 2, don't tell the agent what you think the house is worth before they show you the data. And I want you to understand why this one matters so much. If your number is low, an unethical agent, they're going to build a report that supports your number. Because a lower price, that means a faster sale and a quicker commission. And if your number is high, they might do what I call buy the listing from you. And what does that mean? They're going to tell you exactly what you want to hear. You're going to sign the contract, and then they're going to beat you up for price reductions over the next 3 months while your house just sits there. So do your homework first, at least enough to sanity check the range. Look at what's actually sold in your neighborhood, not what's listed, what has sold. And how long did those homes actually sit? How close did they sell to the list price? And then when the agent walks in, let them go first. You can always react to their number, but you can't unsay yours. Now here's number 3. Never tell an agent that they're the only one being interviewed. So even if your best friend, if they referred them, even if you already love them, because here's the reality. An agent who knows they're competing, they bring their A game. They show up with a polished presentation, a detailed marketing plan, and real data. because they know you're comparing. So if you have an agent who thinks the job is already theirs, human nature, that's going to kick in and they're not going to give their best effort, most likely. So my recommendation is to interview at least two. So even if you're pretty sure you know who you're going to pick, you don't have to tell them who else you're talking to. Just let them know that you're being thorough. That one sentence, it changes the dynamic completely. Now, number 4, this is where a lot of sellers, they lose leverage. Don't let the agent tell you that the listing contract has to be 6 months. 6 months, that is common, but common doesn't mean it's right for you. So in many cases, a shorter initial term, that can be workable. It's enough time for an agent to execute their marketing plan, recoup their investment in photos, staging, and then promotion of it too. But it's short enough that if they're not delivering what they promised, you're not stuck. You set the terms. A good agent, they're going to earn the renewal opportunity. They won't need to lock you in. Now, here's where things get really interesting, because the next one, this is a mistake that I see cost sellers the most, and it's the one almost no one talks about. Number 5, stop asking your agent if it's a good time to sell. So a lot of agents, they're going to lean, yes. Oh, the market's hot. Values are up. Buyers are out there. Let's get the sign in the yard. That's what you'll hear, because that answer, that gets them closer to a commission check. Here's what you should ask instead. Is it a good time for me to sell? Because that's a completely different question. And an ethical agent, they're not going to answer it until they understand your full picture, your life situation, your financial position, and where you're headed to next. And this is the thing that most people miss. The market doesn't determine whether you should sell or not. Your situation does. Life first, then wealth, then real estate. That's the sequence. That's what protects you, because maybe the market is strong. And if you're selling without knowing where you're going, without understanding the tax implications, without a plan for your equity, you might win on the sale, but you're going to lose everywhere else. And any agent who skips the first 2 steps and jumps straight to the transaction, that should tell you everything that you need to know about whose interests they're prioritizing. Now, leave a comment though, because this one fired me up a bit. If you've ever had an agent that gave you a number that felt too good to be true, and I want to hear about your story, we might even feature it in a future YouTube episode. Moving to number 6, don't stop the agent mid-presentation and say, you've got the job. I know you like them, you trust the referral, and numbers, they look good, but you need to hear the full plan. Because if you assume they're going to do professional photos, drone footage, 3D tours, social media marketing, and then they don't, that's on you for not asking. I've seen it happen. Seller loves the agent, skips the details, and then 6 weeks they're in, they're like wondering, hey, where's the listing photos? Why do they look like they were taken on a phone in bad lighting? And everything that they promise, get it in writing. Every single thing. Staging, photography, open houses, digital marketing, that needs to be in writing. In the contract or an addendum, whatever works there, but ask for it. You need to both agree on it, because verbal promises, they don't hold up when things go sideways. And if an agent pushes back on putting their promises in writing, that tells you something too. Now, number 7, and this connects right to it, don't hire too quickly. So take the presentations home, or perhaps you're already in your home, but take them and study them. Compare them side by side. Research the agent's actual track records. Look at their real listings, not their pitch deck. And here's one people forget. The agent who sold you the house 5 years ago, they might be a phenomenal buyer's agent, but a terrible listing agent. Those are 2 different skill sets. Just because you had a great buying experience does not mean they're going to crush it on the selling side. So give yourself some room to do that study and ask those tough questions. And now number 8, this is the big one. Do not tell your agent the bottom line number. I know there are situations where it feels necessary. Financial stress, hard deadline, equity pressure. But here's what happens when an unethical agent knows your floor. They stop fighting for every dollar above it. They won't push for the highest possible price because they know that you're going to accept less. And they might not even list it as high as they should because they're optimizing it for speed, not for the best outcome. Now, that's not saying it's wrong. It all depends on your situation and what you're looking for. Just know that those are the trade offs. And here's the wealth angle that most people miss. Every dollar that you leave on the table in a negotiation, that's a dollar that does not go to your next home, your savings, your kids' education, whatever your next chapter looks like. This isn't just about the house, it's about what that money does for you next. So save that number for when you're deep in negotiations, when you've built the real trust with your agent, and when it actually matters strategically. Early disclosure of that number is a weapon that you hand to someone who may not use it in your favor. And look, I want to be clear about something. Not every agent is out there to take advantage of you. There are incredible, ethical, hardworking agents out there who they're going to fight for your best interests. And I work with them every single day. I built a nationwide network of them, but you won't know which kind that you're sitting across from until you protect yourself with the right information up front. And that's the whole point. Good decisions, they start with good information. If you've got a big transition coming up, let's figure it out together. Click in the link in the description below, start.askweldonhobbs.com, and set your transition up for success. Get clarity on your life goals, your finances, your real estate if that's involved. That way you can confidently make your next move with the right professionals, and we'll connect you to those professionals if you need them. In an AI world, you can get the information that you need to get in the right ballpark, okay? To get the answers that you're looking for. But we're human beings going through real transitions, real emotions, and there's no substitute for someone who's actually been through it. And I can help you see what you're not seeing. That real estate professional walking alongside you can help you do the same. We help connect you to the right person, the right time, and the right place. I'm Weldon Hobbs. When we're making big decisions, we start with your life goal, we optimize it for wealth, and then we focus on the real estate. Remember, good decisions, they start with good information, and I'll see you in the next one.